Hello, good morning class. So, how was your day? Okay ra bang tanan? Oh, that's good to hear. So, before we begin our discussion, kindly please lead a prayer, Jonathan. Okay, we're good to go. So, for today's discussion, we're going to talk about instructional materials. So, does any one of you knows what instructional materials are? Hmm. Okay. So, instructional materials, you will know that as we go through to our discussions. But before that, let me tell you our objectives. So the first one is you will know the different types of instructional materials. The second one, differentiate what are the difference with the IM to one another. And the last one, you will create an album. I will give further details later on. So what are instructional materials? The first one is it is educational resource. So it means instructional material comes in many ways. It is either audio, visual, audiovisual, or any other materials available in an academic environment to facilitate school administration and simplify the teaching learning process. So instructional material is also a delivery vehicle, not a literal vehicle, a delivery vehicle, but rather a vehicle which promotes students' learning. Yes, it promotes your learning. So am I understood, class? Okay, that's good. So I guess everybody is listening. Am I right? Great. Moreover, it improves students' knowledge. Of course, it improves your knowledge. Remember the multiple areas of intelligence? Okay, so each one of you has a diverse ways to learn. Thus, in making an instructional material, you should not focus in one area. Get it, class? Awesome. And lastly, instructional material gives color to the learning process. Do you agree with it? Of course you do. It is not deniable because even we teachers enjoy the teaching learning process when there are IMs presented. And now, let me ask you, why does instructional materials important? Anyone? Hmm? Okay, let me be the one to answer my question. The first is increases the effectiveness of the teacher. Of course, because the more attractive the IMs are, the more interest the students will show, especially if it is accompanied with a jolly and interesting discussions. Therefore, students will be more eager to learn. It also stimulates interest. As what I've said, the more attractive the IMs are, the more interest the students will show. Kindly read the third phrase, Raymond. Okay, so for you to be able to understand the subject matter, there should be a visible material presented. Yes, like this, a PowerPoint presentation. It is a visual aid. Okay, John, read the fourth phrase, please. Audio visuals or even visuals alone are more appropriate to learn in a long-term manner or permanently. Now that you know the importance of instructional materials, let's proceed to what are the things you need to consider. We have satisfaction, expectancy, interest, and relevance. So you have to make sure that your audience eyes were satisfied with what they see, fulfills their expectations, and boost their interest with relevance with what you are trying to teach or deliver. Now let's proceed to the different types of instructional aids and teaching aids. Don't get confused with that because they are just the same. Printed materials are written in text, prepared, and published commercially. Joaquin, can you please read the second bullet? Okay, good. So, did you understand what are printed materials? Okay, so who wants to give me an example of printed materials? Okay, that's good. Next. Yes, that's correct. Anybody? Who wants more? Okay, so we have here an example of printed materials. So we have textbooks, workbooks, magazines, newspapers, reference books, and other types of books. Did you class understand the printed materials? That's good. Moreover, transparencies and teacher's manual are an example of printed materials. Do you know what is a transparency? So transparency is a transparent paper used in a projector. Do you know what is projector? Okay, as what you see, that is a projector. So we're now at sounds and visual resources. Martha, can you please read the 3 bullets? Okay, so what did you understand about what you have read? Alright, so it is just so self-explanatory, right? Okay, so we have here examples of sounds and so we have here an examples of sounds and visual resources. Janine, can you please read the examples? Okay, so do you know all of it? Okay, so from the word sounds and visual. Okay, remember. So we are in educational films. It is not about movie, rather it is about teaching and learning films. Its aim is to educate and instruct students like you to learn easily, especially in this occurrence of COVID-19. Oh, I remember we have a, what you call this one? Um, a Deep Ed TV. Yes, a Deep Ed TV. But I just don't know if they also feature the grade 10 topics. So let's proceed to the pictures and pictorial representatives. Samantha, right? Can you please read the bullets? Okay, so from the word itself, pictures and pictorial, what comes in your mind? That's good. So I have here plenty of examples of pictures and pictorial representatives. Ricardo, can you please read all of it? So guess you all know all of it, right? It is something where you can find pictures. Now let's proceed to symbolic and graphic representations. Who wants to read? Okay, go on, Shane. Yes. So from the word symbolic and graphics, it is more on symbols, right? So the following are the examples of symbolic and graphic representations. We have maps, charts, chalkboards, globes, and many more. So for the last type of instructional material, we have microcomputer resources. Joanne, can you please read? Okay, so we are now in 21st century, so we are more exposed to technologies. Albert, can you please read the examples of microcomputer resources? Okay, guess you are all familiar with it. And now for your project assessment. Joanna, can you please read aloud? Okay, so I have here an example picture and YouTube links for you to follow. Not the contents, just the designs. Don't worry, I will send these links to our GCs, and of course you can have another sources of an album designs. Much better if you make it with your own creativity and resourcefulness. By the way, in making your video, rest assured you are seen in the video while you are doing your album. So here's the criteria for judging. We have creativity for 25%, resourcefulness 25%, neatness 25% also, and the submission on time 25%, a total of 100%. So any questions, clarifications, or violent reactions? None? Okay, Melvin. Um, for the submission, um, since today is Monday, I am expecting your outputs on probably Wednesday next week. Yes. However, since I am not going to meet you next week, for some reason, I am hoping that you are responsible in making your assigned tasks. And for your additional 50 points, caption your video with a one paragraph encompassing a 100 to 150 words. And aside from that, let your friends comment their critiques and observations in your video. Their critics, either positive or negative, will be your sword if you encounter this kind of project again. If you have further questions, do not hesitate to chat on our GC. Good luck, movers. Thank you.